Now, would you say that the sprays are only for people who need to increase their vitamin levels?
Well, let's say theoretically, yes, but that is pretty much all of us. Okay, if we look at vitamin D, for example, the majority of our lives are internal now. 100 years ago or so, we had a very much an external lifestyle. Now the majority of our life is from our back door to our car to our office. The majority of people who are watching this are probably inside in some way, shape or form. So we have a very internal existence. So vitamin D deficiency is prevalent worldwide. Now I'm here in South Africa, and here you have a southern hemisphere climate, which means you're approaching your autumn now. You're probably in your autumn, approaching your winter. You will have 5 months of the year where the sun is simply not strong enough to deliver UVB radiation, which is what you need to develop vitamin D in your body. 90% of the vitamin D that you need for a healthy body must come from your skin's unprotected exposure to UVB radiation from the sun, not from diet at all. So that's a real problem for people in countries that are entering a vitamin D winter, which is what you are now. For us in the United Kingdom, it's the other way around. Okay,
Yeah.
we're now entering our summer, but even in the sun, even the summer months, we spend our lives indoors. I can't stop working. And even when I'm outside, I'm only showing what I'm showing now, about 5% of my skin. You need at least 25% showing to get any chance of increasing your vitamin D levels.
Now that's vitamin D. What about the other vitamins that we can get from food? Why should we be looking at a supplement instead of trying to alter our diets?
Well, you're absolutely right. You should get all the vitamins you need from a healthy diet. And at Better You, we do believe in food first as a primary source of your dietary requirements, okay? So a good diet and healthy exercise. Unfortunately, you can't guarantee all the vitamins and minerals that you need just from a healthy diet these days. And we've just talked about vitamin D. Only 10% is going to come from your diet. 90% has to come from the sun. And if you're indoors, you're not going to get that. You need to supplement. B12 is another interesting one. B12 is solely available through red meat and animal products. So if you have restricted diets, let's say you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you will have a problem receiving B12, let alone absorbing it. But then, as I said, also we're becoming increasingly inefficient when it comes to our digestive ability. So more and more now we're taking things like antacids. An antacid product that suppresses stomach acid, probably number 1 and number 2 biggest selling over-the-counter drugs in South Africa. Okay, suppressing stomach acid means that you simply do not break down and absorb the nutrients from your food. And then you've got over-processing. Our food, to feed as many mouths as we have now, has to be processed. And the more you process food, particularly meat, the more you lose the vitamins and minerals within it. So it's an increasing problem for more and more people.
Now I want to speak about the statistic you mentioned earlier that in the pill form of vitamins, less than 1% is actually absorbed by the body.
Yeah.
Should we even be taking these pill vitamins?
Well, it will vary from vitamin to
Right.
vitamin, okay? So B12 is a particularly difficult vitamin
Right.
to absorb in a pill form, okay? When you look at vitamin D, for example, it will increase, okay? It's fat soluble, okay? So it'll be easier to absorb. But even then, if you're ill, then maybe half of 1% is even too high. You know, you won't be absorbing that. It'll pass straight through. But if you're a healthy body and you've got a healthy digestive system, then you may absorb 25%, maybe 30%, but you will never know. And you'll never know, and no one could ever guarantee what you'll absorb. And that's the problem. So if you need to elevate vitamin D levels, for example, or vitamin B12 levels, you really do need to know what you're taking and how much you'll receive. Otherwise, you'll never know at what point you'll be replete.
Now I have to ask you about products such as vitamin water. Can people absorb vitamins in the body through drinking them in these different beverages that offer vitamins?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, any way, I'm a big believer in any way you can get vitamins and minerals into your body, please try. The best way, obviously, is through a seasonal, natural diet. Okay, that's the best way. Try not to be heavily processed. Keep it raw, keep it real wherever possible. But yeah, vitamins in water will help to a certain level. But as we can see, digestively, you have to break the water down. You have to pull the vitamins out. So, and also, if you look at those vitamin waters, some of them won't have incredibly high levels of supplementation, of doses in there. So you might have to drink a lot of water to get what you require. It is one way, but you also have to look at the source of the vitamins as well. It's really important that we look at vitamins that are sourced naturally, okay, that have higher bioavailability for our bodies. So our bodies can recognize them and more easily break them down. We're used to breaking down, for example, B12 as methylcobalamin, okay? It recognizes it from what it would recognize in food, in meat. We can synthesize that and we call it cyanocobalamin, but that's a synthetic form. It's not as bioavailable, and our body simply does not recognize it, which is why it struggles so much to break it down. So the source of the vitamins is just as important as how it's delivered.